reappoint.
Yeah, I believe he did.
Okay, well, were you aware of Iowa Code 69.16A? All appointed boards, commissions, committees, and councils established by the code, if not otherwise provided by law, shall be gender balanced. No person shall be appointed or reappointed to any board, commission, committee, or council established by the code if that appointment or reappointment would cause the number of members of the board, commission, committee, or council of one gender to be greater than 1/2 the membership of the board, commission, committee, or council, plus one. If the board, commission, committee, or council is composed of an even number of members, not more than 1/2 of the membership shall be of one gender. So he really should not have been asked to be reappointed because there were already 3 people of 3 males on that committee. Had you considered that before you asked his reappointment?
No, he had served before and he was willing to do it again.
I know, but it says you are not to reappoint someone if the number is greater than half. So you weren't supposed to ask him, you weren't supposed to offer that reappointment because it wasn't gender balanced.
We accepted it. Yeah.
What did you say, Larry?
I have no comment.
Oh, well, what did you say before?
What's that?
What did you say before you said no comment? You couldn't hear that.
I said we have no comment.
But were you aware of this rule and appointments about gender balance?
I have no other comments.
Larry was aware of it, he said. He shook his
I
head
didn't
yes.
say nothing.
You shook your head yes.
I thought he said he was reappointed.
You shook your head yes, you were aware of it.
Or did I? I have no comment.
Do you intend to comply with the law that requires gender balance on the appointments that you make to boards and commissions?
Again, no comment.
Why can't you comment on whether you will or will not comply with Iowa law that requires gender balance on the boards and the commissions?
Because it's
And you have all males on the zoning board, no females. That doesn't comply with the Iowa law requirement for gender balance. You had an opening with Craig Sash's term expiring June 30th. That was an opportunity to do right and finally comply with Iowa law by appointing a woman to the zoning commission. So the question is, has Craig Sash accepted that reappointment? Yes or no?
I believe he has a no.
Yes.
And that is coming into question then because there is no gender balance as required by Iowa law on the zoning commission. Do you intend to comply with the law that requires gender balance on your appointments to boards and commissions?
I intend to follow our attorney's order to have no comment.
And is your attorney telling you to ignore Iowa laws that require gender balance?
I have no comment.
So let's talk about the job description that was so gracefully posted. Thank you for putting that in the Tama Toledo Chronicle. We'd like to understand who developed that job description for the zoning commission. Could you speak to that?
I don't know.
I can. So I mostly read Iowa law, lots of it, and also referred to a bunch of different counties in the area around. I wanted to keep it as professional as possible, along with making sure that requirements that are needed, whether recommended requirements, do reflect best for said county. While I am not a resident here, I do want you to have someone that is knowledgeable and can help out a lot here. So I hope that I did enough research so that you guys have a good job description. So yeah.
Thank you for doing that and for taking the initiative, because I understand you as supervisors did not want to advertise or put information out about how citizens could apply for the opening on the zoning commission that follows the resignation of Chair Russell Peterson. And my question is, based on that job description, did Craig Sash meet those requirements on your most recent appointment? Or did you review his requirements?
I have no comment. I have no comment.
Why do you continue to sit in that seat and draw a paycheck every week when all you can say is no comment, Larry?
No comment.
How can you live with yourself when your obligation is to elect the voters that you have been elected to serve, and you sit there and say nothing but no comment, even on questions that have nothing to do with litigation, but do deal with Iowa law and your responsibility as an elected public official to comply with Iowa law?
And again, no comment.
When are you going?
What has your attorney told you not to comment on? What?
I can't comment on that either.
What can you comment on?
Why are you here then?
Because the citizens of Tama County in my district, you may say at this point mistakenly, but have elected me for 27 consecutive terms.
And do you think you're doing right by the citizens sitting there and saying no comment? And how can you take a paycheck from the taxpayers when all you do is sit there and say no comment?
Do you think we elected you to do this, Larry? You're badly mistaken. If this is the best you can do, why don't you just resign? Number two thing, why was Craig Sash even considered when he has an easement for a turbine? Why would he even be considered for reappointment?
You guys were so concerned about finding somebody that was unbiased and not pro-wind turbine or against, when we were turning in applications for the zoning board, but yet you reappointed somebody that is obviously pro-wind.
I don't intend to answer your question, but you also, I would ask you, do you know if he's gonna sit on this board when they make the decisions?
Well, I don't know.
Bill did.
Bill did what?
Bill sat here as a supervisor, and we said he had a conflict of interest, and he told everybody here he had no conflict of interest. Until you got Salt Creek to get him out.
And that still represents a conflict of interest because he had an easement and had a relationship with Salt Creek.
Seems to me, again, there's a double standard here in Tama County.
Seems to me that attorneys have a difference of opinion as well.
Yes, they do. And the public has a difference of opinion with you, Larry, because the public believes that the people that are elected and privileged to sit in those seats deserve to respond to the public and are expected to do that and not hide behind no comment. So here's a question. Maybe you can answer this. When are you going to get microphones in this meeting room so that everybody can hear?
Working on it.
What does working on it mean?
Working on it.
What does working on it mean? When?
Comment.
No comment on microphones?
You get drawn in on one comment, and you add 10 more, so no comment.
I can't hear, what did you say again?
I said, if you get called in on one comment, on something question, you're gonna have 10 more comments, or to answer to.
You know, it's time that you stop playing the victim and you start stepping up and acting like a man and respond to the questions that people ask you. For example, when are you going to start live streaming public meetings? We've given you example. Benton County was able to stand up a YouTube channel. They bought a camera, they bought an iPad for a few $100s. They are providing a public service to their citizens by live streaming their meetings. We've asked you to do that again and again and again. What's the status of live streaming all Tama County public meetings?
Do you guys even discuss it? I mean, are you moving forward with anything, or are you just saying no comment and then nothing happens? I mean, seriously, these people deserve microphones for $200. If I need to donate it, I will, but it's ridiculous that we've gone weeks and weeks and weeks, and you can't accomplish that? I mean, what are you guys doing? Come on. It's not hard. I can go on Amazon, I can have microphones here in 3 days. It doesn't take that long to make a decision for these people who are hardworking and maybe are hard of hearing due to their hard work, and you can't even accommodate that? I mean, what are you guys doing? I mean, what do? You show up for 1 hour every week, collect your paycheck, and nothing happens? It's not that difficult, guys. It's like you don't care. Instead of no comment, you should just say, I don't care. Because that's really how we all feel as citizens, is that you really don't give a crap about any of us who sit here every week and just nicely ask you to get microphones. Get a laptop. You've got grants for all this stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll all pitch in.
How much money is left in that federal money that was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we heard all the department heads got a wish list covered. Is there some money left in that could go towards cameras and video equipment here?
I don't know.
That's the American Rescue Fund Act.
Yes.
Is there money left in it, Laura?
I believe there is. I don't have the total right off the top of my head right here, right now.
Okay.
Can we have a wish list and be maybe put on that list?
Yeah, we've requested you previously multiple times to take official action to go on record as pursuing the opportunity to live stream public meetings. Technology is much more economical today. Public jurisdictions all across the country, counties large and small, city governments are live streaming their meetings. You would have better public input. You'd have better public transparency if you would please make the effort to live stream these meetings. And technology is not anything to be afraid of. It's pretty easy to live stream meetings today. And we've said, as we said before, we'd be happy to put you in touch with the folks at Benton County that do that. It's not overly complicated and it's not overly intimidating. It can be easily done. And we're asking you again to please do that. We've asked you multiple times to please put that on your agenda and to pass a resolution that you are considering, or pursuing that. And especially if there's money that's remaining in the American Rescue Fund Act, why not use that technology to have better communication with your taxpayers? Because the public has a right to know and wants to know about the decisions you are making and how you are choosing to spend their tax dollars. So we please ask you to invest in microphones and invest in live streaming these meetings and then archiving them online permanently on the county website. So thank you for your consideration of that. Because we're coming up on winter, and according to the Old Farmer's Almanac, it's supposed to be a rough winter. Might start with a lot of snow in December. So if we could please make the effort to do that, it would help with your engagement with the public.
You guys were given this privilege to represent your constituents. Do you feel you have done that? That's what I thought. Because this is not representation. Your constituents did not vote for you to give you this privilege to sit there, to cash your paycheck, and then return no comment to us. Disrespectful? I'm sure there's something in the job description about representation to your constituents, to your district. You have not even come close. We haven't seen anything